Welcome back to Dracon's Plays, the Monster Hunter World Beta. Now, just a disclaimer, I am still in post-com because I lost the, my voice capture, for this entire session for the 2 episodes. So you get more post-com. That, what was I even starting to say there? I don't even know. Anyways, so at this point, I decide to keep things rolling continue with the switch axe and challenge the Argonath. Since I'm on a roll here and I took down Jaggerth and Bareth, no problem with the switch axe, I decided to once again try Argonath since I could not beat him. And I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I'll try to get a better read on it when I actually see his name again here pretty soon. But anyways, back to what I was saying. But yeah, I felt like I had a much better chance of taking him down this time, now that I had a weapon I'm familiar with, and one I had successfully hunted 2 monsters previously with. The problems I did have, like fighting Bareth, were not connected to the weapon I had. They're all tied to me not understanding some of the mechanics and just being bad at getting out of the recovery. Anyways. So here, I'm trying to pay a little bit more attention, so that way I know where to start hunting, which is right there in the center area. So this is one that, if you watch the first batch of beta episodes, yeah, if you watch the first batch of beta episodes, you would know that I did attempt this hunt before, and I failed it because I kept bouncing off of the Argonath, however you say it, because my charge blade was overcharged and I couldn't use it properly, consequently. But this time around, with my newfound knowledge of mechanics, mainly actually knowing how my weapon works, as opposed to going in 100% blind, which is what I did in the first one. Now that I know how things work, this is something that I feel comfortable with. So here we go. I start trying to get the mucus. Unfortunately, I've aggroed the regular Jaggerths. So now I have a mini fight here. Now, one thing that I'm going to be trying to pay more attention to is a system that's apparently new to Monster Hunter World, where your Palico can actually tame some smaller monsters. Yeah, I don't know when he did it, but while I was actually saying that, he somehow tamed a Jaggerth. So they all bug off. So now we have a Jaggerth ally, and he can actually mount that, which is super cool. So, as far as I know, the crafting system is 100% not, or 100% not implemented in the betas they did. So, kind of pointless collecting the materials, but still a good habit to get into. So that way, when I play it, the full version, I actually am in the habit of getting the stuff so I can make things with it. Now, since we have this down moment when I'm attempting to track the Argonath, so one system with the switch axe, which I'm not able to mess with in the beta, is each switch axe has a file for it. Now, the files give different effects. The one they give you in the beta is a power file, which, as far as I know, just gives you an attack boost. You're able to get other ones that add things like elemental damage or status effects, stuff of that nature. And at this point, no one's actually 100% certain what files are actually in this. So that's one of the things I'll have to learn once we actually start the full version. Alright. There's Chicken T-Rex sleeping. Anjanath. Anjanath? I don't know where I was getting the R from. But it's an Anjanath. However you say that. So to start this fight, I was attempting to get an elemental discharge off. I think I hit most of it, but... So this little cave is not a great spot to fight him. So I do like his design. He's definitely like bird T-Rex. It's pretty awesome. And he just kicked me while leaving the cave. Kind of ridiculous. But I love how he has like the little wings that he pops out every so often when he's very upset. And then we'll be seeing it a little bit later. I'll talk about it then. And I'm going to be paying more attention to the animation this time. Oh, Shadow was doing like a war horn thing there. Yeah, see, he's actually mounted on the little Jagrath. Or Jagra. Whatever. He's actually mounted on it, which is awesome. But, yeah. Apparently, this monster is brand new to Monster Hunter World. So it's awesome that they added a new monster to the beta. Oh, did he do the thing? Well, it was off camera. I think he did. Oh, come on. I need to see his face. Yes, he did. So at this point, he has the crest thing on the top of his head. That's actually his nostrils, like, inverted out of his head. It's really weird. I think... Yeah, and I was stunned there, and I couldn't get out of it, so I took a big hit. But I believe that's what allows him to breathe fire? And he pops those out when he's very aggressive. I think is part of the idea. He's trying to make himself look scarier. When I found out those were his nostrils, it's like, okay. Because I wondered where he was pulling them from. It's interesting that you really can't tell he has wings until he unfolds them. And then they're just there. Like, seriously, where are those when they're folded up? Huh. Weird. So there, I get caught on fire a little bit. And immediately get caught on fire again after putting it out. His little, just like, of fire is kind of annoying. And yes, I actually did, like, hand gesture. I had my hand in front of my face and, like, popped it open a little bit. Hopefully that pee wasn't too plosive. And he runs away. Of course. Because why wouldn't he? Yeah, like I said, that's one system I'm not a fan of. But you do get those cool moments where you end up in a new arena with different set pieces, and I got caught on fire. Yeah, after those first two, I just like, you know what, screw it, I'm not even going to bother putting it out. It'll take care of itself. Oh, and I take a hit while trying to get out of the way. So this is one of the problems with playing solo, is getting the thing to de-aggro for a second to do something like sharpen your weapon. I do like that you can dodge out of all the animations. Now, I think the actual strategy is before you go back in here and re-engage it, you check like your durability. I think that's what you should do. So, here, he gets trapped, and I completely blow my opportunity for damage. By, like, falling off the log and just generally having difficulty. And I just take a heck of a beating. Because, unlike the other monsters, he does real damage. The Baroth does, like, crap all. And here we get a bunch of Jagraths in on the, or Jagras in on the fight. Now, unfortunately, they totally take my hits. Ow. Took a pretty nasty one there. Now, this game is not really the best for, like, post-com. Because a lot of it, it's like, I'm just swinging away. I suppose I could talk a little bit about the actual strategy I'm using, which is essentially just mash out so I can get the sword mode. I do really like the destructible environments. It adds all these cool little moments. And being able to dodge... Oh, boy. Some of the hitboxes are kind of questionable. Like, some of those moments when you're, like, jumping away and you go into the heal, it looks super slick. There are other moments, like the attack that I actually had to heal, or the reason I had to... That was the reason I had to heal. Didn't look like a good hit. Like that one, I got hit by, like, his body, but I took damage. Never mind the actual attack. Hitbox should have been his head swiping through, but there's definitely still some weirdness in the game. I think a lot of that's holdovers from its, like, 3DS days, since that was its main, that was the main system for Monster Hunter these past few years, has been 3DS. It has been on other things, but that's been, like, its home. It's been portable systems. Alright. And here we go. Ah. And I get lit on fire again. So I think the file mainly dictates the elemental overcharge thing. Oh boy, I took a lot of damage there. Stupid 20-minute time limits. That timing was close. I had just finished the heal animation when he showed up, and I was able to dodge it just in time. Now, a lot of my attacks, I'm just using the triangle, because one of the things that I had with the switch axe was its alternate attack is just these huge wide swings. Awesome for crowd clearing when you're fighting a bunch of Jagras like that. Not so great against a single target. Apparently, especially in multiplayer, because Monster Hunter has a friendly fire type system. So at this point, one of the things I need to keep in mind when I get back into this is I need to sharpen my weapon, because I've lost the durability at this point, so I'm not doing, like, any damage. So I got in one hit there, but there, I just noticed. So that's something I have to do a better job of keeping track of when I'm actually playing the full game, is keeping my weapon sharp so that I get that good damage. Now, the durability system in this game is super quick. It's not as fast as, like, Breath of the Wild, but it's up there. I think it's slower, and no, I think it's faster than Dark Souls 2, though. Which is one of the other games I played that has a more intensive durability system. Anyways, I got my butt kicked there for a moment. Woo! Thank you! Shadow just came to the rescue there. And he ran away again while he had me stunned. That's one of the weird things with AI. It's like, I'm literally stunned. You pick this moment to run away. Anyways, so at this point, I've got him on the run, which is something I wasn't able to do the first time around using the charge axe, or charge blade rather. But I don't know why that counts as a hit. Annoying and stupid. But it's interesting how they have the systems like, no, you have to put your weapon away to be able to heal. To actually be able to run after the thing, you put your weapon away. And there I took another stupid hit from him crawling. But as a Souls player, having to like sheath your weapon is something I'm not particularly used to. Now, obviously that is a thing in Neo, but it's mainly utilized to get access to certain special moves. And he just died there very abruptly. I was super close to killing him down below, but he got up to this area. And then Jagrith shows up for some reason. I think it's because I upset his babies. Yeah, I didn't actually take damage there. It's in like an invincibility mode. And then he just leaves. But a little late there, buddy, to actually be able to help me. And this is the really, really crappy finishing picture. Ooh, I got accommodation pack. Apparently those accommodation pack things are crap. Nothing particularly useful in there. Mostly just common healing items and stuff. Essentially, it'll just make the beginning of the game go a little bit smoother. One less thing to worry about while you're learning everything else, I guess. Will be the main benefit. So at this point, I've completed each one of the missions. The next thing we're going to do is re-challenge the Jagrith, I believe, with the longsword, just to give that a try against an actual monster. Now, if I remember right, this fight went super, super well. And I would have messed around with the longsword more than just this one fight, but because the other thing I wanted to challenge was Rathalos, who's strong against fire, it just wasn't a viable choice, really.
You know the drill. We've got to find it
So,
and hunt it before time runs out.
like normal, grab our food, and then get ready for the hunt. Now, let's see. Just out of curiosity, how much do I have left? Oh, wow. 24 minutes. Dang. One thing that I'm finding with this post-com is I do a lot more talking. A lot of times with live com, I tend to be a little bit more silent during certain moments because I'm either focusing or there's like a cutscene going on and I don't want to really speak over it too much. I do try to get some of my reactions across, but normally in between people's lines. But post-com, none of that's really a thing, especially with a game like Monster Hunter. So instead, I end up spending a lot of this post-com time just talking and talking. Yeah. And so, to actually start talking about something that matters, like before, I start headed to here because this is normally where he hangs out. Except for these two times I try to fight him. Just not around for some reason. So this time I actually went way further down to try to see if he was hanging out. Totally not. Collect that, and randomly I have scout flies now. I don't know how that works. I have no idea. There seems to be some sort of level thing for harvesting certain materials, or breaking different parts, tracking, stuff like that. There also seems to be a point-based thing to it, which, in multiplayer, from what I've seen, grants, like, little trophy things, like, oh, this guy broke the most parts during this fight, or whatever. Don't know if that actually does anything important in the full version, though. Definitely be interesting to see what actually carries over to the full version and what really matters in it. Now here, this hunt gets off to a little bit of a slow start, just trying to find the stinker. I kind of get led around a little bit here. So I run around them. Managed not to actually aggro them this time. I don't know why they got aggroed the time before. But I really, really get the runaround trying to actually find this guy. Like, I end up going all over the place. And there he is. And because he wasn't aggroed and he is his back to me, totally whiffed. Now, with the longsword, like we talked about, the main thing is building up that spirit gauge. Got thrown back for some reason there. But the main thing is building up that spirit gauge to get that attack boost and then keeping it up. Now, let's see. One more hit. And that last hit that actually does the level up is this huge roundabout swing, which makes it a lot harder to miss because that's the one that matters. As long as that fourth hit lands, you get the level up on your sword. 1, 2, and there's the roundabout. As long as that one connects, you get the boost. So at this point, I have very, very good damage. And I just noticed my Palico totally got us a friend at some point here. Which, kind of funny, we're fighting the Jagras with a Jagras. Oh, and he's mounted him now. And he jumped off. I don't know. But you can see me every so often just doing the spirit gauge to build it up. And I have to sharpen my weapon. Because I was doing big hits there. And he totally missed, which is awesome for me. Whap, whap. Missed with that stab. Because the basic combo... And he's dead. Like, holy crap, the longsword just wrecked him. Oh. Oh. One of the things I just realized, what if he has a massive fire weakness? Does the Jagras have a fire weakness? Oh boy, that's the question, isn't it? I am totally looking that up. Let's see. That's one of the benefits of post-com and being at my computer, is I am actually able to go ahead, pull up a wiki, and find out he is indeed weak to fire. That's why the longsword chewed through his health so fast. Because I had the ideal weapon for him. Oh, really? The Jagras is brand new for Monster Hunter World. Huh. It's a fanged wyvern. That's interesting. Now I'm just down like the rabbit hole of I have a wiki opened while I'm... Oh boy. Now, the next thing I decide to do in this is try to hunt down the Rathalos. Now, to start with, I actually picked the wrong mission, and I went to the wrong place. So that kind of sucks. Anyways. Yeah, I'm curious. So, Rathalos. I'm just going ahead and pulling up a bunch of the old. Let's see. Where the heck did they introduce Baroth? Is he not? Oh, that's the Aptonoth. So anyway, I'm starting to look for the Rathalos here. Now, he lives high up in the trees. And so I attempt to jump to that vine. I totally fail. And then I attempt to grapple, and I also fail. So that's just great. Yep, off to a great start there. Really? Was he not introduced in... Oh, that's interesting. I'd heard, in what the heck is his name, actually? Anthronoff? Aptonoff? Monster list, that's probably useful. Of course, you guys have no clue what the heck I'm actually talking about. Fifth generation. Monster Hunter World. Okay. Let's see. So they're talking like exclusive here? I don't know. Let's see. Can I find Baroth? He was introduced in 3rd gen. Interesting. Now. Yeah, and I quit the quest because I realized I actually need to be in the expert one to find him. Kind of annoying. Anyways, Rathalos. Yeah, Rathalos is definitely not weak to fire. His element is fire. Now, it's not actually listing resistances. Huh. It doesn't actually list resistances, so he might not actually be resistant to fire. Ah, element / status effectiveness. Yeah, he doesn't actually seem to be resistant? Weird. Yeah.
We've only got a limited amount of time to track it down and take care of it. So we better start looking.
Yeah. So where the heck was that monster introduced? Huh. I have no idea. And where was he introduced? Anjanath. Oh, he is introduced in World. I'm just an idiot and couldn't remember how to spell it.
Be careful. That must be who rules the roost right
Yeah,
here.
he's also fire elemental, so longsword wouldn't have been good to him. So, okay, we found the Rathalos. Cool. Really, Bareth is weak to fire? Oh, the clean-bodied version. Got it. We were fighting a muddy version, weren't we? Anyways, back to the actual game instead of looking at a wiki. Anyway, so Rathalos is this cool, like, flying wyvern guy that does fire attacks. Now, one of the problems I found with fighting him was because he spent so much time in the air, I had a hard time actually hitting him. Also, that fire attack is really ridiculous. I am on fire and stunned. And then I get my butt kicked. So I'm not having good luck healing, and I got killed. He randomly re-aggroed to me and swiped over and killed me. First death in this second session in the beta.
If you run out of health, you'll faint and be returned to the closest camp. Faint too many times and you'll fail the quest.
So this time I end up catching the vine when I specifically don't want to. Of course. But anyways. Fortunately, the nest is actually super, super close to that particular camp, which means I have a very quick way back. Now, he actually aggroes to me while I'm still crawling through. Fortunately, you appear to have iframes while coming out of that animation. Otherwise, I would have totally been screwed there. And off to a bad start. Honestly, I should have one of the better weapons to fight him, given my vertical attacks. But I don't even know what happened there. But yeah, things just do not go well at all in my attempts to fight him. Oh, Did he just do the thing? So here there's a cool moment where the dam bursts and he gets washed away. I found a weird spot where I am not actually affected by the water and nothing happens to me. And the water didn't actually affect me, so he just got washed down the entire map while I am left up top. Really not great. And I can't jump down because there's no jump button. So at this point, I have to unfortunately find my way almost all the way to the bottom of this stupid place in an attempt to find him.
You can fast travel back to camp simply by selecting it from the web.
So Rathalos is all the heck of the way down there. I probably would have been better off warping to the other camp, which I think is directly below here. Yeah, so at this point, it's just a desperate, like, how the hell do I get down there? Because there's invisible walls everywhere. I did end up finding this, though, which is a rapid descent point. Now, as you can see from that, Monster Hunter has 0 fall damage. And for some reason, it stopped targeting Rathalos. Or is it never properly targeting him? I don't know. I don't know for crap when it comes to a lot of how these systems work. Like, I could and should have warped to the camp right here.
Try to piece together the monster's trail. Then let the scout flies show you the way.
So, here we go. So, here we have him grounded. But unfortunately, when he's grounded, he runs around. Which makes it super hard to keep track, or not keep track of, but actually hit him. And he has an unfortunate tendency to, like, his hitboxes seem kind of jacked, honestly. So I got a pretty decent hit off there. So looking at the damage numbers, I get much better damage actually getting head hits. Because the damage in Monster Hunter is based on where you actually hit them. So I take some pretty nasty hits here. And he kills me again. Specifically that time, it was because I got randomly stunned there, and I couldn't dodge. And unfortunately, a lot of times the stun, it's not terribly clear that it's actually happened to you until you're just standing there like an idiot and get killed. So just in general, the Rathalos fight just went very, very poorly for me. Huge part of it, I have no clue what the heck I'm doing. And I've never fought any thing this mobile in the game. So I just don't know how to deal with it. So even though he's not weak to fire, as far as I'm able to tell from the wiki, he's not, like, resistant to it or anything. So I probably would have been a lot better off using the longsword, because that one has a lot faster attack speed, and it also is a vertical moveset, which makes it a lot more likely I would have been scoring hits, even if the damage would have been less. But, alright. The way the fire ailment works, and honestly status effects in general work, are kind of annoying because it seems to be instantaneous. So I got staggered, or stunned there. There was no stun icon or animation, which is really annoying and stupid. Is that a clock up there in the top left? Huh. I do not know. Ugh. Sorry about that yawn. Anyways, yeah. So when I actually play the Full version. I somehow got knocked down. I didn't take damage, at least. And I'm stunned again. Like, I was getting just stunned left and right. And I'm not honestly sure why. Oh. So even though he gets a health boost, I have a feeling he'll be a lot easier to fight in multiplayer. Then he flies away. Never mind he's kicking the crap out of me. He runs away. Stupid. And now part of the problem is the scout flies aren't actually telling me where to go. And I don't properly know how to actually set it. So I am relying totally on the map at this point to track him down. Which is really unfortunate. And I have a problem here where scout flies do show up, but they're not actually being useful, and then I realize this is climbable. But then it turns out to be, like, the least helpful climbable nonsense ever. Because I end up going, like, all of the wrong ways. I don't honestly know how the stupid vine swinging thing's supposed to work. However it's supposed to work, I couldn't get it to work. So at this point, I end up taking a long route around, and I burned through a lot of the 20 minutes I had. Honestly, that's one of the huge things that contributed to the outcome of this fight, is the fact that it took me forever to get to him.
Take a good look at the wildlife map and pay close attention to your scout flies too.
So, I'm not 100% sure how the scout flies work and how I could have turned them on to track him down. And I realized that would just lead back, so I'm going to continue going through the water. Yeah. There's just portions to this that I just don't understand at all, unfortunately. But, yeah. So here we go. Starting to make progress towards him. Unfortunately, takes a bit to get back up to him. And it turns out to be an even worse arena than previously. Oh, man. I forgot just how hard of a time I had tracking him back down. So, the scout flies are actually brand new to World. And part of the reason for that is because of the complexity of these maps. And I got poison there. And I go and heal. But the poison's actually pretty quick in this game. And then I get stunned, poison, and lit on fire. So I just get totally screwed. One of the things, and I started saying it before, but all these status effects are instantaneous. Just like one attack, oh, you're poisoned now. One attack, oh, you're now on fire. You are now stunned. As opposed to having, like, the way status effects normally work in most games. Where they actually build up, and then you have the status effect. So that way you're able to, kind of resist it. So I managed to cure. At this point, though, I'm having a hard time getting an opening to heal. So I managed to heal. I get hit by his fire breath, lit on fire. There goes all my health. But then I make the stupid decision to continue trying to hit him instead of healing, and he just takes me out at half health like that. Not great at all. Alright. Let's see. So at this point, I know I don't even stand a chance, so I actually just called the entire thing off. I should have finished the fight. I should have actually ran out of time or got fainted 6 more times or whatever and failed it. Instead, I wimped out and decided that I don't even stand a chance against him. Now, unfortunately, the beta has expired at this point, so I am no longer able to actually play it, which is too bad. Because it would have been nice to try to redeem myself and reattempt it possibly with the longsword. Even though I wouldn't be getting great damage, I have a feeling I might have done better with that. But anyways, so that was the second Monster Hunter World beta. Now, like I said before, I am definitely interested at this point in playing the full version, or possibly one of the older ones. If I went to an older one, it would probably be 3 Ultimate for the Wii U, since I can capture on that system, and I have it, and that would be an actual one that would run in 720, as opposed to like going with 4 Ultimate for like the 3DS, which would also require 3DS capture, which I don't have. But anyways, besides all those complications, I've actually run out of footage at this point, and now I'm just talking over static or blank screen or whatever. But anyways, so I'm going to wrap this one up here. Like I said, at some point down the road, there will be more Monster Hunter, either the full version of World, or potentially 3 Ultimate. So you can expect it at some point down the line. Once again, probably won't be released, but within the next few months, probably be more Monster Hunter stuff going up. Excuse me. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up here, and I'll see all of you guys later. Bye!